there, beautiful souls, beloved of God. Yeah, I know. You think of me and miss me. Thank you for all that. We thank God that we are still here in this beautiful world, even though a lot have gone away due to climate change, pandemic, disasters, whatever. That has to be done due to our ignorance of the law of the universe. Nevertheless, as long as we live, we try. Please try to be the best human you ever can imagine. Because if you are the best humans, then you can become saints easily. Yes, you know already. At least those who are initiated into the Kuan Yin method, the Kuan Yin way of life, and being vegan, you know that. I just want to thank all of you also who have tried all your best to go out of your way to convince others to live according to moral standards, the law of heavens, and the commandments of God. Not that God wants anything from us. It's just that, there are ways to live our lives that would make us the best possible example of heaven and earth. And also, it would, of course, consequently make your life the best possible, the way you want it. I just want to thank you very much, all of you who try every way possible to help others to elevate their spiritual standard, as well as helping the suffering humans, animal people, and other beings on earth to be more elevated, happier, more virtuous and kind, and know the meaning of true life on this planet. I thank you so much. I know you try very hard, despite your hard work already, despite a busy schedule, despite the many other works you have to do, and of course, the inside work that you do every day during your meditation. At least you try to know God more and more as days pass. At least that, because that's the only thing that is most important to us now and hereafter. To all of you who practice to connect with God directly through the inner heavenly melodies, vibration, as well as the inner heavenly light, which is directly from God. Thank you. May God bless you to further your progress and the enhancement of your soul, your spirit, your life. I just want to remind you that after sunset, it's better not to eat again, or at least very little. Yeah, just enough in case you're very hungry. Then eat less than lunch, okay? Twice a day is really good enough already. Yeah, breakfast and dinner before sunset. If your working schedule allows, and then try to meditate as much as you can. From that time until the next morning, try to do things fast and efficiently so that you have more time to meditate or to do some other good work to help others in need spiritually as well as physically. Those who are in need spiritually are the most desperate, the most pitiful, the most in need of help. So do what you can. Yeah, thank you so much. I just want to remind you again also that at nighttime, if not absolutely necessary, do not go out, especially alone in the dark. Because nighttime is a time of the negative beings, such as, zealous demons, zealous ghosts, and they could even go through your open windows and open doors then keep the light on inside if you have to. Otherwise, close your door before the sun disappears on the horizon. Open it in the morning, in daylight, when it's already bright enough for you to see everything clearly. They could go in through a very little gap even, not to talk about a big open window and door. But I trust that those who practice the Kuan Yin method sincerely, your inner and outer protection and vibration are very high, so the ghosts will not be able to come near you, go into your house or near your environment, because there will be a ring of protection around your house. The wider and stronger depends on your value of spiritual practice. But you have the chance to become more mighty, in your wellness, your being, in your spiritual value and power. So please, the more you meditate and do spiritual practice, the stronger you become, and nothing can harm you. You know all that already through many examples, through many experiences, outer and inner, that you know by vision, like you see in your vision, or you know intuitively, or you experience it yourself consciously. Recently, His Majesty, the King of Zealous Ghosts, has already taken up the abode where I have made a word for similar types of beings, like the zealous demons or the zealous ghosts. But the king of zealous demons has chosen to still stay on this planet. The king of zealous ghosts has decided to take all his retinue, his citizens, all the way up to the world that I have created with the name of IFUZ. IFUSE. Now they are very happy and very grateful to God for that place, which is above the third level, between the third and the fourth spiritual plane. Yes, you know those planes. The ones initiated by me know those planes. Now they are very happy. So since then, since just maybe under a week even, as they couldn't imagine how beautiful and blissful their new granted abode is, saying, we should have known it earlier. Why didn't we know it earlier? So they're very happy and very grateful, and they send so much love that I feel every day. I'm also surprised by such a sudden infusion of love, not like the normal stream of love that I have received from you and other noble, virtuous, and good beings on this planet. That does not yet include the love from God, the love from the ultimate master, the only Son of God, and the love of all the saints and sages and all the masters from all directions and of all times. I'm very happy about that. So that means we will have less disturbance in our practice as well as in our endeavor to help other beings here on earth, so that they will be more elevated, the life will be more comfortable and easier. But there are still some demons and ghosts on earth in human form. Those in human form are more difficult to deal with than those who do not have the human form to activate their power or to create their mischief or their trouble for humans and other beings, meaning animal, people, trees, plants, even stones. But at least a lot have already gone to the IFUZ land beyond our planet. And so we can be happy that the obstruction, the malevolent energy has been reduced a great deal. And now, of course, like ever, it's up to humans to change their behavior, to live a more decent, virtuous, moral life, so that truly nothing can befall them, or much less, minimal, or zero. The zealous ghosts are very happy in this Iphusy land, that they're so grateful and sending love a lot. I don't know if you can feel it. I feel it myself, I guess I just send gratefulness and love toward me, to me, for me personally. I still feel it today. But you see, there are some zealous demons and ghosts still hiding in human form, and we cannot do much about it. Just treat all with your love and kindness. Then slowly things will change. They will change their heart, change their attitude, change their mind. I told you a long time ago that His Majesty, the King of Zealous Demons, was touched by all the reports from his citizens about what I do. And also they watch Supreme Master Television, where you report about what I do, or they watch my lectures. And they have changed their mind. So they have decided to stop bothering humans and to stop doing bad deeds, even though humans' karma and humans' bad energy could allow them to. I really am very, very appreciative of such an endeavor, such a quality of the King of Zealous Demons and the King of Zealous Ghosts, that they could even be so courageous, so brave, so decisive to quit the unfavorable, bad path, to come to their senses, into a better way of living. I'm so happy about that as well. I'm so happy for you, for me also. I feel much better. Most places on the planet had something to offer, good or maybe bad. It depends on where you live and whom you have as neighbors, yes, or as a country at large. Some countries have a lot more spiritual outlets than other countries. The UK, for example, has more good spiritual outlets. But one of the neighbors of the UK had a very bad quarter before. It's better now, since the zealous demons king took up his new kingdom in the African mountains. And since the king of zealous ghosts also decided to lead a more virtuous, noble, and spiritual life. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. But everywhere you go, always be respectful. Bear in mind that God is everywhere. And saints and sages' energies are everywhere. And be reverent in your heart. Never look down upon anyone or any place, however barren or unfavorable it might look, because you never know. You never know what is in the air, what actually resides there, and what actually has been built there. Without psychic eyes, you cannot see. Okay, I hope I can remember to tell you about the king of zealous demons. Oh yeah, I have told you more or less a little bit that sometimes, they observe me over time, not just 1 day, 2 days. I myself did not know either. Like, for example, for a couple of days I was in the hospital, and there are some patients also near me. And because the hospital was so full, they had to sit in the corridor. I was also a patient myself, but I was more able. And so I went around asking if there was anything I could do for them, And then they asked me like, oh, I need more blankets. Please ask for me. Or my blanket fell down. Please cover me. I need some water. So I brought things to them, these small things. And also some old lady with garbage on top of her body, not like garbage, but things that are discarded, like her old dirty mask or something that she cannot throw away because she was tied onto the bed. She couldn't move out of the bed because they had all kinds of machines attached to her and IV on her arms and legs so she could move. And then I just keep helping her to throw away the garbage. Or bringing her water and helping her to drink. Little did anyone know, including myself. I didn't think too much about that. I was more on a higher heaven than on earth. These people I helped, the patients who were helpless in their bed or just sitting in the chair, who I just helped to cover with a blanket or tuck him or her in because she couldn't do it himself or herself, or help her to find her handbag that she lost. Little did I know that they are the king of zealous demons, retinue or relatives and friends in human form. So, of course, they reported that to the king of the zealous demons. And he was very touched. And he said that I'm really genuine and very loving and kind. And slowly, bit by bit, with all this information reported to him, he decided that he just quit, quit working in the direction that is against my wish, against my will. So he just removed himself with his citizens altogether and went to the African mountains where no humans will ever set foot because it's so remote and so impossible to access. And I have invited him to go to a higher place like IFC, or between the 4th and 5th level, but he decided to stay here for now. Yes. He does help some wherever he can. He helped me in some situations as well. Yes, I'm also grateful to both of them. And I'm enjoying the love of the king of the zealous ghosts and his citizens as well that they're sending me. Every day is very, very comfortable. I'm so happy beyond description. I cannot describe to you how happy I am. You just know I'm happy. That's it, happier than a couple of years ago when these things have not happened yet. And because of these things, I also remembered that most places on earth would still have some saints and sages energy, or some living saints and sages, or, deities all over the place. So we must always have reverence for the earth, for the place where you live, the food that you eat, because all the deities and the fairies have duties, Some have the duty to help the vegetables to grow. Some have the duty to make rain. Some have the duty to make thunder. Some are bad, some are good. They are all good. These deities who are assigned by heavens to serve humankind and beings on this planet alone, just particularly this planet. We are so many. I can't tell you everything everywhere. You can't see them much anyway. These deities, they are good. They just have to do what they have to do. So some receive good assignments, like making gentle rain, making beautiful clouds for sunrise and sunset, making, all kinds of things, beautifying the world, taking care that the flowers grow well, taking care of the stream and that the water, is running plentifully for humans to use. But some deities have to dry the lands and make havoc, make droughts and floods and all that. It's not that they're happy to do it. They just have to. Our karma forces them to do all these unfavorable things, earthquakes and stuff like that. It's also a warning to humankind to be more, humble, more virtuous. But it's very difficult to go through humans' ears. Also because of obstruction from demons, devils, the king of Maya, retinues, ghosts and all that. So the more we can be removed from, demons and ghosts, the better for us, of course. So I'm happy that 2 big groups of zealous demons and zealous ghosts have removed themselves from obstructing us from reaching spiritual attainment. It's much easier than before now that we don't have them around to try deliberately to hinder us. I'm so grateful to God Almighty and all the masters for these phenomena, which are very rare and hard to encounter. I'm so grateful, so grateful. I prostrated to God for all those favorable things that have been happening to us. I truly am so grateful. Please, you thank God, thank all the masters as well for me, with me, yes? Whenever you remember, not just one day, not just today, not just at our meditation hour for gratitude, but every time. Don't forget, okay? Everywhere has something also for us to revere. That's why the indigenous peoples would normally produce some psychic, citizens who can see things. They can see which mountain has light, has deities, has reverence for God, or a shrine, or a palace that has been built to revere some or one of the masters or some saints and sages who benefit humanity, who have passed by, live there some days or sometimes. We can never be grateful enough. That's why when, some people invaded the Virgin America long hundreds of years ago, many American Indian people want them not to destroy this place, not to develop that area, not to, ruin that mountain, because they say those areas are sacred. It was true like that. I know it on myself too. Because sometimes if a true master or a big saint, stayed there or continued to reside there or left already, the environmental deities, the local deities or nearby deities would come together, use their power to build a palace for worship, for loving, peaceful worship. That's what they call it, okay? The exact words they put out like this: to build a loving, peaceful place of worship for those saints or sages or masters, which they know are a benefactor for the land and worthy of their reverence. I know that myself, because even as humble a being as I am, as I usually like to stay on islands. So sometimes I bought some islands, or sometimes I bought a piece of land for you to meditate. For example, like in New Land Ashram, we have a small island, but it is not small. In the spiritual dimension, it could be huge, very huge. So they even built, a palace there to worship Master Ching Hai. Yes. And it normally would be in the air around 9-10 meters above whatever existing surface, either ground or a roof of something, like a roof of a cave or roof of a house. If the master's not there, they will begin to build a palace with gold, diamonds, jewelries, that I quote, I quote the words of the reporting deity, that world has never seen before. Gold jewels that the world has never seen before. That's the quote of the report to me. yes, about some of my palaces that they built. Even some so-called island, it's just, in a small lake. And it's a very small island, but they could also build a palace on top of it. After I left, it was about 9 meters above the ground. But that palace can also be moved higher or lower accordingly. Yeah. And it's about 70 meters high and 90 meters wide. And also round, like some kind of circumference. It's studded with gold and jewels that are exceptionally beautiful, and on earth, nothing can compare. It's a different kind of gold, different kind of jewels, It's not like the ones that we see, even though the ones we see on earth and wear are also beneficial. The more so if they are designed by heaven through a master or a great saint. Yes. The deities just do it, nobody asked them to. I never knew they did until later on when something happened there. And then I would ask some local deity gods, why did such a thing happen? Then they would explain to me, because so-and-so person came to your island you inhabited before and disturbed the peace and construction of the offering deities. That is their words, not mine. The deities just do it, nobody asked them to. I never knew they did until, later on when something happened there. And then I would ask, some local deity gods, why did such a thing happen? Then they would explain to me, because so-and-so person came to your island you inhabited before and disturbed the peace and construction of the offering deities. That is their words, not mine. So these are all their words, yeah? Offering deities. I never used those words. I never knew such words existed until after I knew about that report. Yeah, so-and-so person came and disturbed their peace, the peace of the offering deities. Because I left already, I'm not there anymore. So I asked, well, what did they do to disturb them? And they say because he came in and brought in not pure energies into their building area, where they are building a palace of worship for you. That's how I knew about it. In that tiny island, there was just a single person tent I put up near the hatching swan. Person stayed there for just some months. And long after I left, a non-resident removed it already. But the deities still count that I inhabited there before and built a palace of worship. In one place, there were some initiates who went there to feed birds, swans, or other animals, people, as per my instruction, after I left that place. So even such a humble one like I am, and still alive here, they still, offer such reverence like that. It takes at least half a year to finish that kind of palace, and you won't see it with your physical eyes. But if you meditate well, maybe you can see it. Or if you're sincere, maybe they will let you see it. Not everybody can see this kind of palace. So people would not believe that such things as a palace of worship in the air really exists for any master or any saints and sages. So over all these centuries, or thousands of years of time, can you imagine how many palaces like that have been built on earth in remembrance and worship of the masters that have come and that have graced our planet and that have left us physically? These worshipping palaces help to naturally stabilize the surrounding, bless the atmosphere and all beings nearby. And by the way, one day while traveling, I wanted to rid myself of all the house keys, ashram keys or related remote controls, etc. But heaven told me to keep them for the same beneficial purpose. So all the temples and the churches that we built are nothing of physical value compared to the palaces that the deities, the goddesses, have built for those masters. So it doesn't matter that when they leave, they have magnificent temples or not, they always have. As they moved from one area to another, their palaces will be multiplied all the time. Everywhere they pass, the deities around that local area or nearby would come together, use their power and build such palaces for the master in gratitude, in memory of, and in worship, just for all the world to know. In the invisible world, we in the physical and visible world hardly know about that and hardly can tell. So if you go somewhere and see the native people say, please don't disturb that area, this area, it could be because they know the sacredness of certain place. So please just respectfully listen. Formally, because humans relied only on their physical power, guns and knives and stuff like that, we sometimes took away the lands of the native people and offended the gods by taking up their abode, their worshipping temples and all that. And then we receive bad luck and tragedy upon ourselves just because we're ignorant. We cannot see what the natives, psychics see. In every indigenous nation or community, there is someone who knows about nature, who can see beyond physical obstruction and see things that normal people cannot see. But because of ignorance, many with strong physical weapons and force would come and, force the natives away from their land, from their worship area, from the sacred, mountains, fields, hills, and forests, thinking that these people are stupid or superstitious or know nothing of science. But many things science can never explain anyway. Even nowadays, with a lot of high tech, many phenomena have been recorded in the air or in the sea and in forests or on mountains somewhere that science cannot explain. Not to talk about the things that cameras cannot capture. Normal eyes cannot see. Normal hands and cannot touch. Feet cannot go through, for example, like that. So please, I remind you, well, we talked about that many times already, but I remind you again, please, every step you walk on earth, be thankful, be respectful. Then you will have less trouble and disaster in your life. And if you can help it, don't go out too late at night. Because at midnight, if we have demons and ghosts still on the planet, at midnight, midnight, the king of karma will release the demons and the ghosts so that they can go out, be free, doing what they have to do. Sometimes it's good for us, sometimes not good for us. Sometimes fatal, sometimes causes people to be frightened, to lose their mind, to go crazy, or to do things that later, when they're out of the demonic influence, they would not remember at all. Just like those sleepwalking people, if they happen to do things or go anywhere, when they come back to their bed, they don't remember a thing. Anyway, to live in this physical life, even as a practitioner, you must always exercise caution and give out your best, your compassion that you learned from all the teachings of the masters, and develop it more and more, or remember it more and more yourself by practicing meditation, by God's grace. Show it all. Show your love, okay? Give your love. Act on your love, from your love to others around you. You never know whom you're helping. It could be a saint, in disguise. It could be a highly enlightened saint or practitioner, but they live humbly just like everyone else. Yeah, just like Kabir, Saint Kabir. He just continued his job as a weaver. And, like Buddha, he was a prince of a kingdom, but he just walked around in his 1-hour robe to go begging for food. And many other masters just walked barefoot and served humans quietly, humbly, until they were found out, and then executed, burnt alive, crucified, or assassinated. You know it already. The more you read about how the masters suffered, the more you are grateful to them. Are touched deep in your heart, and you would vow to practice more and more diligently to repay their kindness, to show gratitude for their love and sacrifice. Many masters in the past just did what they did, a normal job, living a normal life, and you would never recognize them unless you have psychic eyes or spiritual eyes that can see their aura. Then you know they are high-level beings, not normal humans. You don't have to see even. Just be respectful to all you meet and treat them with loving kindness. And recognize the God in them, whether or not they know about their own, high position in the universe as children of God. Just be good, be kind. Then your life will be better, okay? That's all I want to tell you. No need to find the saints in order to be kind to him or her so that you can have blessing. No, that's like business. That's low class. Okay? Treat all unconditionally, as you would like to be treated yourself, as if you are in their position. Always think that you are the other, then you know how to treat them. Okay? Right. I thank you all for practicing very diligently, for trusting me, and for remembering God every day and thanking God, and thanking all the masters, and doing as many good deeds as you can afford or as you encounter, helping all those in need unconditionally. Never think that they will have to thank you or reward you, or that heaven will reward you. But you will be rewarded, even if you don't want it. Just be respectful, okay, to all that you see or do not see, knowing that God energy is everywhere. The saint and sage's energy abounds to help you, to uplift you, to comfort you. Then you would treat everyone as if, he is a master, she is a saint. Or it doesn't matter, just as your fellow human beings, When I was helping to care for some patients around me in the hospital, I did not check if they were saints or sages or anything. I just helped them because they needed it, because I was able to at that time, and because all the nurses and doctors were extremely busy. You don't know it. When you go to some hospitals, they're so extremely busy. People are miserable and sick everywhere. And some are so helplessly sick that you just shed tears, feeling their misery and pain. So your little help, your little comforting words, your loving eyes, your humble service would help to make them feel a little bit comforted. Some don't even have relatives or friends or families. They're just all alone and are sick. lonely, helpless, and frightened. So imagine if it's you, how would you like to be treated, to be loved, to be comforted, to be shown kindness? Yes? Then you just do it as if it's for you. Don't overdo it. Don't be too noisy while doing it. Don't do it so that all the nurses see you and praise you. They might see and they might praise you, like in my case. But you should not feel proud or satisfied for any reward you have by words or action. You just do it because you want to, because the person needs your help. That's all. Okay, remember this. And you never know, you might have helped a saint, a master who is not, obviously known to you or not famous or too humble to even say anything. But they will give you blessing quietly. And you never know why your life suddenly becomes better, for example, why your relationships are happier, why you are promoted at your job to a better job, higher position, etc. But it's not that you want it or wished for it. You must always help others with your love. That's all there is. Just with love. Do everything with love. To yourself, your family, your relatives, your friends, and strangers whenever they need that. And even when they don't need it, give them love also. If you can, your family, make your life happier. Because if your family members are happy, then you're happy. That is definitely like that. There is a reflection, okay? Just like the mirror. When you look into the mirror, a good mirror reflects back to you that you are pretty or not, okay? Right. That's very simple. Now, I thank you for remembering God, praising God, and being grateful to God and to all the saints and sages and to the Master every day, every time you can, and meditate as much as you can. Remember to protect yourself with the holy names and the gifts if you have, okay? All right. May all your noble wishes come true. May God never let you forget Him. Amen. I will talk to you again next time. Love you, love you, love you.
Joy am I, and love am I. Joy